Are you alive? I'm seriously asking. Yeah, we'll come back to that topic in just a minute. First of all, I want to say Halloween. Did anybody have any good little Halloween stories that they wanted to share in the chat? I had a very busy Halloween. The band played 2 shows this weekend in 2 different towns, and as I was getting ready, oh, I'm off to a good start. I just put coffee down the front of my shirt. It's Wednesday. Hi, everyone. I had a few trick-or-treaters while I was getting ready, and my very first trick-or-treater was... Do you guys remember the little kid, the little guy? Hey, Wild. Hi, Betty. Hi, Chubby Hubby. Hi, Ryan and everyone else who's here. I thought I saw Candy earlier. I thought, yeah, I saw a bear here. Awesome. And Lava's here. Right on. Everyone is here. My first trick-or-treater was the little guy that was like throwing his leg over the bike that was way too big for him. Do you guys remember that kid in the one video? There was a bunch of kids in the last video. Hey, they're real. Hey, Rockin'. Karen. Cheers, everyone. Anyway, he's quite the little character. If you guys remember him, he's got just a little bit of a speech thing, right, going on. And so he's my first trick-or-treater. And I open the door and I'm getting ready to give him a big handful of candy. And I drop it in his bag. And in the meantime, he kind of looks past me and he goes, I sure do like that box of rocks you got there. I was like, yeah, should I just put rocks in your bag? I was like, but I gave you candy, man. Like... I was like, you are one of those kids that would maybe be happy with a box or a handful of rocks in your bag, huh? Yeah, that was fun. I had a few more, couple other kids that I recognized, and it was fun to see them. But I did have to boogie. I had to go. Yeah, our Halloween show was good. The rumor I had discovered at the Halloween show that was going around about me was that I had passed away. And I know that's a little bit like, what the heck? But I'm being really serious. I used to be a bartender. I tended bar up here for a long time, like literally just a couple months shy of 10 years. In doing so, I made some really good friends, who would come and spend time with me at my work all the time, and I'd get to know them and we'd do things outside of work together. And one of those friends is now the owner of the bar where we just played this weekend. He's done all kinds of odd jobs, but he's kind of settled on that career in the past. I want to say he's been at it for probably close to 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. He's been the owner of this bar. So really good friend of mine, though. So there actually was a member of our community that has passed away, and she also tended bar at the same bar that I did, like the 10 years prior that I did, I didn't think about any of this, coincidence and stuff. And I had no idea that any of this rumors was misunderstandings were happening. So I actually did see her obituary pop up, but I had just seen her son, who I went to school with, up at the biker rodeo, and we had visited him and I about how she was not well. And so it didn't shock or surprise me to see her obituary notice come through on Facebook and stuff. I didn't think anything of it. Where the confusion all starts to happen is that we both did the same thing in for work for a long time. And then somebody shared from the bar that we played a St. Patrick's party at a video of the band playing at a St. Patrick's party. And everyone now thinks that this is like a memorial video for my passing, and they don't realize that the original poster who reshared that shared it because she is dancing in the crowd. She is just enjoying herself in the crowd, and they wanted to share that memory. So that all in all, just it really got crisscrossed. And then as people, want to let everybody know what's going on, somehow it morphed into that I had passed away. And that seems all innocent and silly and stuff until I'm at my show and I go put, hey, how's my friend? I go give him a big hug, and I'm standing there visiting with him, and he's like, dude, I thought you were dead. And I kind of laughed. I was like, what? And he's like, no, for real. Like, for real, for real. He said, I was, me and Robs were laying in bed one night, and she got a message from my mom. And hey, dads, he says, my mom usually really has her information straight. She's usually pretty right about, what's going on. And so she gets a message from my mom, and she reads it, and she looks at me, and she's like, babe, I'm so sorry. Like, you are not gonna like what I have to say, and I'm so sorry that I have to tell you this, but Allison passed away. And he's like, no, 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 no. And she's like, well, I mean, that's what your mom says, and she says this because, like, and so he's like literally like absolutely heartbroken, right? I know, Wild. Like, I'm like, I'm so sorry. So then literally we are playing a show in Pony when all of this is going on. I'm out of town. I have no idea all this is going on, right? And Pony is literally a one-horse town, like population 57 people or something, right? We don't get service out there. And he actually messages me, hey, so are you excited to play the Halloween show that's coming up? Just hoping that I'll reply. And he checks my Facebook to see if there's anything. I don't post on Facebook. I don't. You guys, if any of you follow me there, I do very minimal. And I'm in the conversation with him. I'm like, dude, check my YouTube if you want to know if I'm alive or not. And he's like, no, for real. And I'm like wondering, like, how come, nobody else has really said anything. He's like, I'm trying to figure out if this is true or not. So yeah, he baits me. He throws a little hook. He's a fisherman by hobby, by the way, so this totally fits him. He throws a little hook. Hey, are you excited to play on Halloween? I don't really get the message in a timely manner because I'm out in the boonies. And when I do get the message, I honestly don't know how to answer because our drummer just got arrested. I don't know if he's going to have his poop in a group in time for us to be all there on Halloween or not. And our guitar player's grandpa just passed away, so he's dealing with that. And so I'm like, so it takes me like 2 days to get the message and then to reply to his message. And I replied honestly with, Cole's got family things, our drummer's dealing with this. I hope I'm ready. And by that time, he had actually already found out that I was, in fact, not dead. And he actually wound up messaging the guitar player who was with me at the show in Pony and was like, hey, man, is Allison okay? And he was like, well, I'm looking at her, so I'm going to say yeah. She's standing right here in front of me, so yeah. But seriously, like, he was heart freaking broken. And so to anybody who actually, like, lives up here and may have heard the rumor that I'm not okay. I am, like, not okay, but I'm okay. Yeah, we had our drummer got thrown in jail the night before our show in Pony. I won't get into it. Like, that's his business, it's not really a big deal. I'll just say that. Like, it's really not. And he's going to be okay, and we're all going to be okay. But it was one of those things where I woke up that morning and Cole was messaging me like, hey, we got an issue. And thank goodness, Lava Bison's younger brother lives on our way to the show, and he actually is the original drummer to the Slow Rollers. He came before the drummer that we've always had since I've been a part of the Slow Rollers. So we phoned him up and we're like, hey, you busy this weekend? And so we stopped on our way, picked him up, and took him with us. And then we milked the crowd. We were like, yeah, don't forget to tip the band. We need the bail money for our drummer. And Pony was just that kind of crowd that they loved that. They're that kind of like, rebel crowd, that kind of heathens, that they're like, your drummer's in jail. Epic. And then we told him, we probably owe you some money since we used you for tip money. Oh, so I have another thing that I want to talk about, but do you guys want to look at this while we chat? We're generally misfits. Historically, agree, Opal and hi Machine Head, and anybody else who I may have missed in the chat there, I do apologize, but yeah, Halloween was wild. 2 shows. The second show was too much fun. I got to meet some new people and play with our guest guitar player was Johnny. And Johnny's a cancer survivor, but so that just makes you all the more aware of like how lucky we are to get to play with him. And he's like really feeling good nowadays, and it's good to see him feeling good. And he is just an amazing guitar player. And it's weird because let's look at this while we visit. I get used to hearing what we sound like, like, oh, I know that this song's, it's, and Cole's probably going to play a guitar solo here, or he's going to hand it off to our other guitar player here, and he'll play a solo, and it's probably going to sound about like this. And then you kind of just have a feel for like when that solo ends, and you go back to the, singing part and all that. Okay, so I'm over there like this is any old show, and I'm playing the song that I'm used to playing. And we sing the parts, and I kind of hear the guitar kind of picking. He's never played with us before, so it takes him just a minute to kind of get into the thing, right? The groove, right? And playing, and here comes the part where and I was just like, what? Whoa! It made me a very cussy bass player. I was back there like, ow! F! Oh! Shoes! Oh! Cuss. It was great. And then we got to another guy who I'd never met before, Steve. He played a set with us. And I was like, not only are you kind of a weird guy, Steve, but you're a funky guitar player. Like, it was so fun. So fun. So, yeah, Halloween was wild, and then I came home, and things got all emotional. Things were a little emotional on Halloween when I discovered that I had passed away, and then I was revived. So I was turned into a toad, chubby hubby, and then I was unturned into a toad. Yeah, because I dressed up like one of the sirens, and they turned the dude into the toad on Soggy Bottom Boys. That's the reference in case you didn't get it. Oh no, Betty. Prairie Ghoul rocks. For sure, right? Oh goodness. So, in the case that this meteorite came in, I'm a Dapper Dan, man. This was just, it's just a bit like really loose. Like when I close the case, the meteorite wants to slide around a lot. And my solution to that was to keep all of the stuff here in here. The note from Ron's family, the ID card, and then part of the provenance that I like to keep sometimes is, and I'll probably take it off of the bubble, but and just keep the paper, but I like to even keep the postage. It's got the date, it's got, you know, to from, it's just got little clues about, you know, how and where, and you know, it's just proof that, you know, it's legit. So I tucked this in here, and that helps to kind of like fill up the gap a little bit. But then you can like see the yellow through the thing, which I'll get over for now, but I do plan on cutting just a new piece of whiter background to go into that. And then it's ready for display. But is that not the coolest thing you guys have ever seen? Oh my God. Oh, so the one more thing that I want to talk about, and when I say too, like, I'm alive and I'm seriously asking, like, how are you guys doing? Like, I already know that Chubby Hubby is fine. He's just like got 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound shed, and so he's not okay in that way. But yeah, for those of you who aren't aware, it was not long ago that a kid in my son's class committed suicide. I don't think we're supposed to say that on YouTube. I might have just effed my live up. Anyway, the kids, it was really tough on the kids. It was really tough on all of us. In a small community like this, it's really tough on everybody. And the kids organized I'll just say S because I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say the word, an S awareness walk for the community to participate in. And of course, like, we have no idea what the heck they're doing, what this really means. Like, what are we doing? This is the first we've ever done this. And and so, you know, like, all I know is that the kids are sharing this event. Like, please be at the community center at 6 p.m. Bring your flashlights. We're gonna go for a walk. And then we're gonna meet back up at the community center afterward and have refreshments and community, you know, social gathering. And so, like, we don't really know. Right? So I brewed a fresh brew of coffee, and I took a hot thermos with me and a flashlight, and we went down to the community center. And the kids, like I say, the kids organized this. This was the senior class. They didn't have to do this. It wasn't something they were getting a grade on or anything like that. And they put together these little packages with great information to call, you know, great little reminders. And they had their class president get up and make a quick speech, very quick speech, about the point and the mission of this walk, that we're going to be the light in the dark. And you know, if you would like to, you could wear a sticker that says who you're walking for on your jacket. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Grab some glow sticks, grab some lights, and here we go. And they had a path that went down Main Street from the community center, down Main Street, down to the edge of town. It backtracked like 1 block, and then it started snaking around, and as onto the there's a walking path out there. And as it started snaking around, you could really start to see like how long this line was, and all of these people walking in the dark. And it was actually really kind of a cool thing. they made a quick speech about how they'd gotten this all of this information, and the health nurse and stuff to come up and just make us aware of what kind of programs are available out there, whether you're, struggling with yourself, or whether you are struggling with, other issues, dependency issues, whatever. Like they just quickly addressed a lot of that in a really like real solid, mature way. Like I'm so impressed with some of these kids. Like I'm s- it sucks that they had to deal with that. Like that's not okay, and it's not cool. But the way that they've dealt with it, and really stepped up and been a light in their community, and reminding each other to like the campaign that that they're kind of shooting for right now up here is beyond the weather. We're all about asking each other, how's the weather? How's farming? How's work? How's this? How's that? But do we ever like actually stop and say, "Hey, are you okay?" So let's not just talk the talk, but let's walk the walk, and then let's remember to keep walking the walk. So quite a powerful thing that they did up here. So it's been quite a week for me. I haven't had any cutting time. I am okay. Are you wild? Oh, believe it or not, I actually am okay. Like it was really cool to get together with all of the community and stuff. Like we weren't a sad bunch. Like we really are a tight knit community up here, and it was nice to get together and do a little how's the weather, how are the kids? The kids are kidding? Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's been a rough one. The kids are, been at the doctor with all five of them have had a broken leg or stitches or, something throughout the summer, and has missed the first, week of school, and they, digging themselves out of a hole, the regular chit chat. But it was nice to know that we were all there for the same reason, even if it was just, quick chit chat amongst community. So yeah, we can talk about the meteorite a little now that I got a lot of the stories out there. Holy cow, like I say, it's been a nutso week. Crazy week. Hey Meg. Hey James. But yeah, I always kind of in the back of my mind, I want this to always be a positive place for us to hang out. I want this to be a place that's good for our mental health. And I think really, for the most part, we really, really do a good job of that here. And not just here on my channel, but across the board. So, yeah, I definitely don't mean for my message today to be a downer in any way, shape, or form. I just want to let you guys know that it's important, and I've said it before, especially when wintertime comes up here. Like, I say it kind of jokingly, like, check on your friends. When the rock inhibitor is on the ground, when the snow is on the ground, check on your friends, make sure they're doing okay. So, it is that time of season up here. Montana's super tough sometimes. The daylight hours shift drastically, and it's dark. Take your vitamin D. Exactly, Betty. Exactly. It's a little bit rough. Like, and then you get used to, like, no joke, like 12, 14-hour light days outside where you can hike until like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night before you have to come in. And only because it's dark, not because the weather pushed you in. And then, hey, Allison. And then you shift to winter where it's dark most of the time and you cannot get out in Rockhound. It's freezing, like, so it's kind of, a little bit of a shock to one's system. So, yeah, I usually cope pretty well. I may, Jones about it a little and be like, seriously, guys, I'm freaking out because I can't go rock hounding. But I also self-entertain very well, as you guys may have noticed by now. And so I'm never like, oh, I'm bored, or oh, I can't handle it. I'm always like, I find a way to, what am I gonna do? Like, In fact, I have the opposite. I'm always doing like 9 things at once and don't have time really to think about how sad it is that I can't go rock hounding. I do joke about it a little though, you know. When the rock inhibitor is on the ground, make sure your friends are doing okay. So yeah, there was some chit chat, and I really do just want to clear all of the Russian etch theory up here. And again, I want to challenge you. Can you go to the internet and find a picture of a Russian etched meteorite? Can you do it? Yeah, it can get a little like that, machine. It can. So, you know, Three Forks is kind of more like, I don't know. Yes, you're gonna get the shift in daylight hours, Wild. Yes, but aren't you like in on Oregon? Oh, you might be down in California, huh? Or aren't you like up in Washington, Oregon area? It's kind of about the same, isn't it? Washington, yeah. So you kind of know. I mean, Washington has a little bit milder temperatures and such, but you know what it's like to get the snow and the you know the dreary shorter days, the the longer summer days, the longer summer nights. So this meteorite was polished to a mere finish. Polished first. Like you can see on the edge. I am having one heck of a time with the gosh dang focus and the zoom and the everything going on today. Sorry about that. I swear this is not my first time. This isn't the first time I've ran this show, I swear. You can see that it's a little like some of that may be just some natural features in the actual polished. No, it's not a Semchen. Allison with 1L. It's a Munulalusta. But anyway, so the whole thing is polished first to a mere finish. Excuse me. I do apologize. I've had just a touch of like something in my a touch of a little bit of a head cold. It's been kind of giving me a headache, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you hear me sniff my nose. Okay, I promise I'm done now. Yes, a mirror finish. So it's polished first, and some of that is some scratches from handling and stuff, but some of that may actually be features in the middle. But you'll see it's just like super reflective, super mirror finish shine on that. You have to polish a meteorite to at least that grade to get it to have a nice smooth etch anyways. So, but yeah, then the next step is to stop the acid from touching the edge of the meteorite somehow. And excuse me again. I talked a little bit about how our friend Jules, my friend Jules, has done some of this on some of her iron meteorites, and that she didn't just do a Russian etch though, like she did something really wild. So she stopped the etch in a triangle pattern. So this part is left polished smooth, but this part is etched. Instead of stopping the etch at the edge of her meteorite, she stopped it in a triangle shape. So the triangle shape on the meteorite was achieved by Jules during her etching process. And she did that, I'm certain she said, with tape. That she was very, very precise with her tape job and able to achieve that. Yeah, like a reverse Russian. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a name for this, you know? I mean, so I love that. That's so cool. So, but like I say, it's hard to find even a picture of an example of an actual Russian etch meteorite on Google or the internet, period. And again, it has nothing to do with it being from Russia. It's the style of etch where you stopped the acid from going all the way to the edge of the meteorite, therefore showing the polished and the etched contrast in one surface. Yeah, Allison, they exist. They are not unicorns or yetis. They actually exist. So why are they so hard to find a picture of or to find a piece to put into your collection? Or hey there, Josh. Rufo says, I have been Googling it for a bit now with many different terms. I can find writings and descriptions on it, but not a picture. But found multiple sources saying it's called a Russian etch. LOL. I aim to resolve that, you guys. I really do. I am going to make it my personal mission with this meteorite and any that I may possibly try this on in the future. I'm sorry if by the time I am done making videos about this, shorts about this, posts about this, I am so sorry that if you guys are so tired of seeing it by then, but I aim to resolve the misunderstanding between the Russian etch and a Russian etched a meteorite from Russia that has been etched. Like, oh. Oh, goodness. It needs to be done, Rufo. It needs to be done. Like, I've actually, like I say, looked for an example of this as just having conversations with people, you know, like, oh, I've said it in the past. I'd like to add a Russian etched piece to my collection someday. And then I go to find a picture of it and I'm like, I can't. And so I've actually like private messaged Topher and Sue and been like, do you guys have an example like of a Russian etch? And they'd be like, wow, let us dig back. And you know, lo and behold, they maybe do, but hey there, Resort. But yeah, like, how is that just so not a search result that you can find? And you're not going to walk into a whole lot of shows and see a whole lot of these. You know, you'll see a lot of Moon Unilusta slices. You'll see a lot of etched iron slices. You'll see a lot of etched pallasites or silicated irons or all of that, you know, all of those. But to see an actual Russian style etched meteorite, why are they rare as hen's teeth? You know they exist. Why are they so elusive? So why? Like, why is it not done more? I don't understand. So yay! Yay, Ma. Let's make it number one result. Silvers to wire up. Slivers to wire wrap from an entire flat full of them. Now I wonder if they were pieces coming off of a Russian iron instead of a Gibeon. Yeah, I can't say for sure, Resort. Checking in on the chat here just a little bit. I don't know that for sure, Allison. I don't know how the actual official OG method for doing a Russian etch is. I've speculated that you could do like wax. J and V suggested some like whiteout. Jules has used tape. So I mean, any way that you went about just stopping the acid from going all the way to the edge of the meteorite would achieve that look. Yeah, I would assume, Rufo, that it would be the same. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it takes just a little bit of time to make sure your line is somewhat, you know, within parameters, or, in Jules's situation where she did the triangle, you'd want to make sure that it was nice and tight, that your edges were sharp and your lines were crisp, and, things like that. Like or like, yeah, or like Bear said, he's got some stencils, some stencilage that you could use. And the thing of it is that they're not necessarily like outrageously expensive or anything. Like, you guys know, I'm on a budget. I I would not have even considered it if it wasn't within a really like reasonable ballpark price, right? Like, nail polish or permanent marker, see, or dop wax. I mean, yeah, this is not like, why don't they do this more often, you guys? I don't know. Is it just like not, did people just decide a long time ago that this wasn't a cool thing to do? Like, this is sacrilegious in some way, or like tacky, or, like, did it just fall out of trend, and so they just don't do it? Or like, I don't understand why they just don't do this more often. Is the edge not polished away, but the center is etched? That's correct. The whole thing was polished to the finish that you see on the edge, all the way across polished. And then something was applied to the edge, and then the whole thing was etched. So if they had not stopped the etch, the whole thing looked like this to start. If you hadn't have stopped it from etching, it would have went edge to edge like it does on the back. But the whole thing has to be polished before you can etch it, or you won't get a nice etch. So I love it. Agree, Ma. Yeah. Like I say, why are they rare as hen's teeth, Like, I don't fully get that. I wanted one for a long time, Allison, before I got one. And the cool thing is that I didn't just get one. I got one with a cool provenance, and that, serves the wants of my friend, and that carries on his story and his legacy, and that this piece could have gone to other people, other collections, but it comes to this collection where I get to share it with you guys. You guys get to see this cool thing and what makes it unique and rare. And now you know you want one because of me and because of this rock. Sorry, not sorry. Friends don't let friends get into meteorites. Friends help friends get into meteorites. I'll have to go back and see what you're chatting about their resort. I think I've missed a bit of it. Mm. Yep, I did that. It's too industrial looking. Yeah. I've got a little piece, so I've been working on some inlay stuff, as you guys know, with some stonies. And I've got this adult Etch-a-Sketch. Jeff! Oh my god, I'm ringing the bell for that. Ba-dum-bump! Oh gosh. I've got this stony meteorite, and look how freaking cool this thing is. It has got like, that's my favorite chondrule. Look at all the other chondrules in it. It's not real heavy in metal, but it does have some banging chondrules, which is usually the alternative, right? Usually you either get pretty high in metal and not very good chondrules, or you get good chondrules and not very high in metal, right? But that side, this side, I couldn't do anything with. But this side, it's a little less exciting, and I think that there's a little possibility to put a little, like, you know, Spencer Opal inlay or something. Like, it's my favorite condo. It is. A little inlay piece like right there, and then this would make a super, super beautiful little wire wrapped piece. So it's sitting right here, you know, right here, just right over here. Just sitting right over here. Thinking about doing that. Oh no, a resort. So, yeah, I mean, that's, like I say, sitting right there kind of giving me the eyeball, like, you want to make something awesome out of me. You really do. Mm. Yeah, so everybody's got a good grasp now on how this is done. And if anybody ever sees one of these, they'll know what they're looking at. They'll be like, that's a Russian etched meteorite. And somebody else say, but it's not from Russia. And you'll say, it doesn't matter that it's not from Russia. It's the style of etch that makes it a Russian style etched meteorite. Everybody now knows that they want one. Everybody's like thinking about ways that they could go try to do this. Oh, goodness. Yeah, seriously. I mean, you guys just got like smarter every day, didn't you? I'm sorry that I had to do that to you guys, but I had to do that to you guys. Not sorry. And yeah, like literally, you know, I just want to just kind of remind everybody, like, I'm not really the owner of this meteorite. I mean, yes, I am. At this time, I am. But I'm really just the temporary keeper of this stone and its stories, right? So, yeah, if this stone could tell a story, there was a lot of different things that had to happen in order for this to become part of my collection. You know, first of all, Topher had to start the Knowledge Bolide crew hangouts. Then Ron had to decide to join that crew and those hangouts. And then I had to decide to join that crew and those hangouts. And everyone who's been there from now until then and in between has been a part of the reason why Ron and I and Topher and everybody have continued to do those hangouts. And then Ron decided that he wanted to do something really meaningful with his collection for those that he loved and would leave behind. And so he set that into motion. And then that had to, as he was no longer here to do that, had to be, taken upon on by his family. And then his family, teamed up with a few more of the members of the Knowledge Bolide crew who also helped. Like, there was just so many separate events that had to take place in order for this to find its way to my collection. And for me to be the keeper of this stone and just the next part of its story. And this stone will outlive me and my collection. And someday, somebody will be the keeper of the story that I'm a part of that story too, So sometimes it's not all about just a pretty thing or a rare thing in your collection, which this is. Sometimes the thing can have a greater value than just a monetary value or a face value. So yeah, it's a cool thing. And just at face value, it's super cool. Like, yar, I want one. But that I got to have one that has such a cool story behind it that, reminds me that, why we do this, what makes meteorites valuable isn't always what type they are or how pretty they are or things like that. Sometimes it's the story too. So yeah, we do try to be good stewards to our collections. Because they're not our rocks. They'll outlive us. We're literally just the keepers of the stones and the keepers of the stories until we pass that on to the next keeper. You know? Resort. Sorry, I still think I'm missing too much of what you said to get with the conversation, but I'm sorry. It sounds like the struggles are real here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, but sometimes if we don't laugh, laughter is good medicine. Awesome, Les. Awesome. I may just watch from my camera because it's been a little chilly at night. But I will definitely be aware that we're having a shower in the next couple of days and have to go check it out. So yeah. That's a big piece. A great big piece. I mean, physically, yes, it's huge. It's 127 grams. Boom. That's a hefty piece. And yeah, it's going to be the center highlight piece of my collection for quite a while. Yeah, the moon was really bright last night. Yeah, and like I say, I apologize in advance if I just like beat this like a dead horse. I do apologize, but I have looked in the past for examples of a Russian etched meteorite to show to people, to explain to people, and the internet failed me hard. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to find an example, and so I do want to get it out there. It's a cool thing. It's really, I think it's a cool thing. So, and like I say, not just this is a cool thing. You could do this to any meteorite and it's cool, but because he was my friend, and I get to honor his wishes and give this a good home. And I know that's what he wanted. I know he wanted this to go where it would be appreciated. And, I think we're doing that together right now is a big thing. So, and to continue to do that, like I say, I'm going to beat this like a dead horse. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to continue to use this as education and a thing of beauty and a thing of admiration and all of that. It deserves all of that love. So we're going to give it some. Hammer the hearts, hit the like button, do the hype stuff. Share it, get it out there. Like this is not just an ordinary piece of Moon Unilusta or an ordinary iron meteorite or an ordinary etched meteorite. This thing is just beyond a monetary value in my collection right now. Cheers to that, folks. How's that? Like, we looked at one rock, but we told a whole bunch of like super out there stories. Like, how was everyone's Halloween? It's been a wild week for me. Yeah, agree, Allison. Agree. If you guys go to Topher Spin Meteorites, and maybe one of my wrenches could grab a link to their, at least to their YouTube channel, there is a playlist of Ron videos. And it certainly isn't all of the videos that Ron was in, but I think the way the playlist is set up is, when we got the news as a crew is one of the first videos in the list, and when we kind of replayed some stuff and had some good laughs at some things that he did, like he pissed off a certain someone in the meteorite community, and we, the way that Pat phrased it, like, if that certain somebody has a legitimate, if you've pissed that certain somebody off, then you've achieved something in this community. And so, and I was like, that's a good way of looking at it, Pat. And so, like, we really had some good community laughs and stuff, a little bit of a cry too, but it was good, And so I think the way that after that video is that the rest of them, oh, thank you, Lava Bison. I think that they start like at his very first video that he ever appeared in. I'm ringing the bell for Lava Bison. And then some of his other like really awesome videos that like were kind of easier to pick out. Like, I'd shared, he did a how to etch a meteorite video that if you're going to try this, you should watch. I think it's only like 11 or 15 or 17 minutes long. It's short. It's to the point. It's spot on. It's the best. Like, I honestly looked around the internet the other day looking for a good how to etch an iron video to share with a newbie. And in Topher's Spin, there's a really great, like, detailed, like, how if you want to do a really professional job, Craig Slyman takes you like through a 3-part etching series, which is really an in-depth, like really next level etching series. But for beginners, if you need it to be to the point, if you don't have a good attention span and you just want to get the job done, but you want to get it done right, Ron made a great video. And it's in that playlist on Topher Spin. It just, so if you want to get to know Ron a little bit more, there is a playlist of just Ron videos. Otherwise, if you're, watching Topher Spin Meteorites, he may be on, the next video in the playlist. You just never know. So, yeah, he was there a lot. And there's a playlist that's set aside just for him there. And then also, I'm not exactly sure where, but I'm sure if you sleuthed around on Topher Spin Meteorites on Facebook, Thank you, Ryan. Or if you sleuthed around on any of that you'd be able to find a link to Ron's inventory. I think it's in the description of the video even. I can't say for sure where it's at, but if you're interested in looking at what's left of Ron's collection and seeing if there's anything there that suits your fancy, that is a possibility as well if you can track that link down. So yeah. I should have shared it in the video, but I was like, ooh, I wasn't super sure if it'd been shared with the public yet or not. And I've had a bit of a headache and this stuffy nose thing, going on. And it's not bad. It's just enough to kind of make me like not want to be looking at my screen a lot, and to kind of just like take an ibuprofen and put the hot rice pack on my neck and lay down. Like, it's just been enough to kind of knock me down a peg. And so I wasn't honestly sure if the link to his inventory spreadsheet was available to the public. Discord, the Topher Spin Meteorite Discord would be another good place to look for the link to the inventory if it is public at this point in time. So, but yeah, if you want to dig more into that topic, that's been made doable. But yeah, anyway, in the meantime, be sure to do all the things, the things and the things and the things, because the things. So yeah, it just what a story, huh? How it got here, the guy that had it, the community that, the whole thing is just like, I think it's kind of a neat story. I really do. And I'm more than honored to have this in my collection. I really, really am. I mean, look at that bad boy. I'm telling you guys, like, I might have to, like, I packed it around with me for 2 days and showed it to everybody I knew. I was like, and it's funny because I know that, like, they don't care. Like a few people that were really, really close to me, they do care. They're like, wow, that's really cool, and like they do care. But like, I took it to our show in Great Falls and I was like, check it out. And I'm like, yeah, see, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. Like, sorry about my language, but it's true. Like, see, I'm a nerd. Hey, everybody, I'm a nerd. See, no one cares. I mean, when they saw it, they were like, yeah, it's cool. But like, they're like, yeah, that's neat, you weird rock lady. Like, so... So yeah, thank you again, Ryan, for doing the wrenchy things. I so appreciate that. So yeah, you guys, like I say, I'll probably make some short videos that don't tell the whole greater story of this meteorite and why it's important to me, and like I say, why some meteorites have greater weight and greater gravity than others do, and why provenance is important and all of that. It is big. And like I say, I know for a fact that Ron showed this not once, but maybe even twice. I know he showed this to the Hangout. It may not have been recorded, but I know that he had showed this to us, and proudly so. Like, I have a Russian etched meteorite, proudly so. But in his giant hand, it looked literally half the size that it actually is in real life. I was shooketh when I opened it. I was like, oh my God, it's huge. Oh my God. And I bought it sight unseen. I read a description that literally said, like, everything in the inventory is just a written description. You can click further links and look at pictures if they are available, or you can request pictures before you commit to buying, but I didn't need to. I read the description. I knew that it would be a beautiful meteorite. Ron didn't have anything in his collection that wasn't nice, that wasn't beautiful. So I didn't need to see it to know that I needed to have it in my collection, that this was the right place for it to be, that if the idea that it could go to somebody who didn't fully appreciate it or couldn't do the educational outreach with it that I could do with it, that, you know, like all of the things that made this just really need to be here, you know? So, but yeah, I read the description. I was fairly confident that I remembered him showing it once or twice, at least to the hangout. But yeah, in his enormous hand, it looked about that big. In my mind's eye, it was that big. No, in fact, I know that he showed this because I remember having a discussion about the discoloration right here. Is that like some early pre-rust right there? Or is that just, you know, a different composition in this different little zone and inclusion in the meteorite? I don't remember what the conclusion was, but I don't think it's rust. So if you for sure know that that is, and that there's a way that I could treat that, tell me, but I don't think it is. And if it is, it's not seriously affecting the meteorite at this point in time and is slow progressing. So just keeping it dry should be the key. Something that wouldn't react to acid, or, you know, you're talking about this? Yeah. That's like a taenite, kamacite inclusion or something right there. Yes, you're right. This inclusion did not react to the acid. And that is a normal, typical, hey, save, a normal, typical inclusion that you would see in Ammonium Ulusta. That's not highly unusual or anything. You can see that there's other little bits that were of a mixture of metal that didn't etch. But if you look, there's kind of like a little bit of a golden hue there, or a amber or brown, or just ever so. And I remember discussing that as he showed this. I remember discussing that little bit of discoloration, not the big inclusion, but that little blop. It looks like somebody spilled a drop of coffee on it right there. So I remember talking about that, you know, what is that? Is that just, you know, what is that? But again, even though I remember seeing this meteorite, and I remember talking about that little spot next to that inclusion, that little like tinted, like, it still only looked this big in Ron's hand. I swear. Oh God, please, let's not and say we did, okay, lava? God, that would kill me. I'd have to refinish it. I'd have to re-sand it, re-tape the edge, and re-etch it if it got clear coat spray paint blasted all over it. I couldn't do it. So, but yeah, step one to do this is to polish the entire meteorite. Even if you were going to just do a regular old-fashioned etch, step one is to polish the entire face. Step two is to apply something to stop the acid from getting to the edge of the meteorite, and then to apply the acid to etch the meteorite. So I think I've pretty well, like, yeah, got that. Everybody gets how it's done and everything now. But like I say, I'll probably break this into shorter, more digestible little short videos and things that you guys will probably get bombarded with, just so that it's not such a hen's tooth. It's not such a rare thing. I mean, it is, but it doesn't have to be. So it doesn't have to be something you don't see all the time. Like, we don't. We're never going to. But it doesn't have to be something that we've all, like, never seen, and we can't find a picture of it on the internet, and, all of that. Do not. I could do, like, over my ammonites and stuff. I got little fossils and stuff, ammonites and stuff that I'm stuffing opals into with epoxy, with UV resin and stuff. So I don't have as hard a time, as big a issue coating fossils and stuff. I don't like my meteorites coated though. Sometimes it's necessary, like if you've got a palisite and it's like barely hanging on, some coating can kind of help to stabilize it, or whatever. But there are some rare examples where you should do it. It's a chronic ruster, it's a known ruster. Yeah, maybe you should, especially if you live in a really wet place. So anyway, yeah, I like mine to be natural. So I'm so excited, you guys. I just can't get over it. All right. There it is. Can't tell you guys what an honor it is to be the keeper of this stone. So, yeah. I am in love. I very much so am, yes. Yes, very much so. It's like I say, it's going to be the centerpiece of my collection for quite some time. So, as I look over at the meteorite case, like, it's going to be eye level, right there with my other really nicest favorite meteorites. And luckily, I have another couple larger, very pretty stones that also have some very cool backstories, stuff that I've got for my birthday from some people that, I've got two, one from bear and one from bison, that will hold their own next to that piece, that won't look like itty bitty nothings next to that piece. So yeah, while it's a really nice big piece, it actually is a really good fit in my collection. It is a really, I can't get over that. Like, I just can't. Like I said, I can't get over all the things that had to happen in order for me to be the keeper of the stone. And that I actually am the keeper of the stone. So yeah, anyway, I'm alive. I'm glad to say that I'm alive. That there was a bit of a misunderstanding, but that I'm okay. I'm good. I'm alive. I'm as good as I can be anyway. Like, Halloween was fun. I got to see some of the kiddos, and we played music, and it was really, really good music. Sometimes it hits just a little better than other times, and it was hitting this weekend. And then, yeah, the kids did their walk. What a cool bunch of kids. And, yeah, now we're to where we're at here, where you guys, look what arrived at my little home out here on the prairie. You guys just never know what you're going to get with me, do you? So, yeah, I do realize that it's been like, we did 2-dot anniversary the week before, and then we did like this one. It's been kind of meteorite heavy, and I promise that I will try to go back to some more rock stuff, and so it's not quite so meteorite heavy. Try to get some rock projects done now that we're done with some of that busyness for a second. So, but yeah, it's been good. It's like, seriously, like some of that stuff that was just a little bit like, it broke my friend's heart when his wife looked him in the eye and was like, honey, I'm so sorry, you're not gonna like the, but you guys, aw, I'm loved. And you guys know what? So are all of you. Seriously, because, you guys are part of a little community here, and don't think that you don't matter. Seriously, you know, it would break our hearts if anything happened to any of you guys, and we really do care when you guys are going through tough times and stuff. It's okay to talk about it in here, you know. It's again, it's not a downer. It's just, you know, it's always a safe place for encouragement and expression and all of that stuff. So yeah, if you're ever feeling like you need, you know, just a little extra community, get in here and say something. Say, hey guys, you know, keep an eye out for me on the Discord. If I need to open a chat room and just kind of get some stuff off my chest, would anybody volunteer to meet me in the Discord if I needed to? Or could I do a, you know, community voice call later if I needed to? Would anybody answer? I guarantee you that somebody will be there. Seriously, and hopefully, you know, at the right time, and if needed, you know. So, or just, you know, advice on stuff, you know, that makes us all the better as a whole, as a group. Like, am I going to keep this a secret from you guys? You know, this is proprietary. How's that done? I don't know. Go figure it out. No, I'm going to share every bit of info I can with you. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to share ideas. Go do this. The inlay stuff that I've been doing with them, you know, like when Jules did this, which is so similar to kind of what I did, only she etched hers and I inlaid mine. So when Jules did this, and then Jules saw what I did with the inlay with the labradorite on my piece, she was like, oh, I'm a little jealous that I didn't think of that first. And I was like, go do it, Jules. Go do the inlay. You can do it. You know, like, I want to see what you guys do with the ideas that we have as a community. And there's, you know, I want to be able to have a place where we can say, like, anybody got any idea what the heck is going on with, like, is anybody, how do you do this? You know, like, share my ring making video with you guys. Like, did I put myself out of business by sharing that with you? No. No, I opened up an opportunity to see what other kind of creative stuff could come out of that, you know. So oh, the rumors of my demise were greatly exaggerated. Yeah, I can understand how the message got crisscrossed. I really can. But yeah, I'm glad that we could nip that before, like, anybody else was thinking things that they shouldn't be thinking. Like, I'm okay. Yeah, and I'm happy I'm still with us too. Like, I really can't tell you how happy I am that I'm still here, you guys. I hadn't stopped and pondered it lately, to be honest with you. But it's good to know that I'm loved, and it makes me very much so want to tell you guys that I love you guys too. So, yeah. See how those, like, chain of events just start getting put into place, and then next thing you know, you're a greater part of a community, and that all of those little pieces matter. So anyway, it's been kind of a mushy, like, Perga rocks today, and we've really only looked at one rock, but it's a fascinating rock, is it not? Oh, and I kind of do have a little bit of, like, this, you know, thank all of the teenagers for bringing that around and then letting it linger. So I'm gonna go fill my cup up, because cheers, it's been empty for a hot minute. I've obviously been refilling this one like a maniac, because it's got a ring on it. Yeah, I look forward to hanging out with everybody on the crew tonight, as usual, and look forward to seeing you guys doing your stuff around and here and there and everywhere. And yeah, next Wednesday, hopefully we can meet, same place, same time, and do some other who knows what that may be rock related. Probably will be rock related. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It really is a cool thing that we do here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and look forward to doing it again super soon. We'll sing the song. I don't have a bunch of rocks to look at. I just got the one. Let's sing it the song for the first time in its existence, you guys. It got a little do 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 at the end of the video, but that's all it really got. So, you guys ready? Let's sing it all together. If you know the words, sing along. Pretty rocks out on the prairie, pretty rocks are everywhere, pretty rocks for us to look at, pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and an etched one and a big one and it really is very pretty and they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much, so much for welcoming this beautiful piece into my collection with me. And in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind of a rockhound. Peace, hippies, and boop. And I hope to see you again soon. Be well. Be alive. You know you're alive when you're feeling all like warm and fuzzy at the end of a Prairie Girl Rocks show. Peace, hippies. Bye, boop.